Ernie, thank you. Game 6 between the Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs now leading 3-2. So for the Suns, for their season to continue, need a victory tonight to perhaps force a Game 7, which would be Saturday back in San Antonio. The two teams, of course, played games 3 and 4 here and split those two games, and we're underway along with Dan Marley and Reggie Theus, Mike Green on hand in what has been a physical and very emotional series as well, as you saw the emotion from the Indiana series. Tim Duncan, Parker, inside to Duncan and a foul. Amari Stoudemire quickly picks up his first foul. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's Game 6. Stoudemire's had his foul problems a good portion of this series. Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Tony Parker, and Steven Jackson, despite the ankle injury, starting with Marion Stoudemire, Scott Williams, Stephon Marbury, and Anthony Hardaway. So 2 injury things to watch for. Jackson and the ankle, which bothered him in Game 5, and he left, didn't play much at all. And of course, the Stephon Marbury. You had a chance to talk to Marbury about that right shoulder injury suffered in Game 4. How's he feeling, and how will it affect him?
Well, first of all, the guy's a warrior. I asked him how his arm was, and he said it's a little weak. So we don't have 100% of Stephon Marbury tonight, but I expect him to play through it and do as well as he possibly can. And not a good start for the Suns, because the rookie goes down there, Stoudemire, and gets a quick foul early, and if Steph is not able to go out and produce, they're going to have to have somebody else step up and get the job done.
Parker with a nice defensive play. We've seen a different Tony Parker since the first 2 games of this series. Duncan getting double-teamed almost every time. Jackson for 3. Steven Jackson from downtown. And the Spurs quickly lead at 5-0.
And that's the guy who stepped up in Game 2. He had a bunch of points off of double teams like that where he stayed behind the three-point line and knocked in. He's a very good shooter. He's had a great series.
Yeah, let's bring our guy Reggie Theus in. Reggie.
Hey, Mike, Dan Marley was talking about Stephon's arm, and he said that if the arm started bothering him and his jumper wasn't falling, look for him to drive a lot more tonight. This is a game that they got to have. They don't want to go back to Game 7. Mike?
All right, thank you, Reggie. You know, you hear the phrase must-win situation all the time. It never counts until it's an elimination game. So this is a must-win, obviously, as Stoudemire misses. Rebound, Sean Marion. And Scott Williams right there. That kind of attacking the glass is something that Phoenix has to do against this big Spurs team.
Yeah, like you said, this is a do-or-die situation. They lose this, they're staying home for the rest of the season. So the Suns were very disappointed in with the way they came out in Game 5. They didn't have any energy. They're coming out today with a little bit more energy, and Jackson hits another 3-pointer off a double team.
So Jackson 2 for 2 from downtown. Now, you played in elimination games. Is there any different feeling as a player when you're in a game that you know if you lose, the season's over?
Well, it's a lot of fun to play in it, first of all, because the intensity's there, and you know that you have to play your best game to move on. So I'm sitting over here. Here's the kind of games that I miss playing in. So you know that both teams are going to come out. The Spurs don't want to leave it up to a 7th game in San Antonio where anything can happen. And the Suns know if they don't win tonight, it's over.
Especially anything can happen the way Phoenix has played them all season. Marion can't hit the free throw. That foul is on Bruce Bowen. Sean Marion has not shot the ball well in this series. Just 36% from the field. Tony Parker left open. David Robinson, who had a very big impact in Game 5, able to tip it out and get a new 24 for the Spurs. Scott Williams grabs Duncan on the arm. And that'll be Scott Williams first. Spurs will inbound with 15 on the shot clock. Considering Duncan has played every single time touching the ball, double team, he's had a brilliant series.
It's been unbelievable. I mean, he's still gotten his points and his rebounds. He makes everybody so much better. He's such a smart player. He knows where his teammates are. He finds them with pinpoint passes, but all they have to do is catch and shoot.
Jackson at that time. Marbury, the rebound. Marbury goes strong, stripped again by Parker for the 2nd time. Ball picked up by Stoudemire, and he's fouled. David Robinson hit him on the arm. And 2 free throws. A reminder, a live TBS NBA Spanish language feed now available via SAP.
And that's where you can tell where Marbury's not 100%, because that's twice already in this young game where he has drove into the lane. He's one of the strongest point guards in the league. This is twice where he's driven in the lane and got the ball stripped. That usually doesn't happen to Marbury. He's strong enough to take it in the lane and finish it most of the time.
Stoudemire hits the first. The Suns have gotten off to some rough starts in this series. Some of the first halves have been difficult. We spoke with Frank Johnson before the game, and the Suns coach said that one of the keys he felt was to get Stoudemire involved early because it just makes such a difference in terms of their team's overall energy.
Well, it does, and also takes the load off of Marbury and have to score, and they also need Marion to have a good game. That's a guy who could probably get 15 points in his sleep. That's how talented he is. He hasn't had a breakout game yet, and there's no better time for the Suns than this game for him to try to break out and have a huge game.
Entry pass, Robinson catches it and can't finish. Marion the rebound. Now, a lot of the reasons some of the Suns have not shot the ball, well, let's face it, they're playing against a superb defensive team. As Marbury bumped, David Robinson has picked up his second foul, so he'll sit down. In fact, the Spurs lead all playoff teams in opponents' field goal percentage. They're just very good defensively.
Yeah, you don't win 60 games in a season and win like they do on the road by being a weak defensive team. And it helps that they got those two big guys down there that play good team defense. They realize they can pressure the ball, they can go out and deny the ball, because if they happen to get beat, they got guys like Duncan and Robinson back there to challenge shots.
Meanwhile, if you're a Suns fan, you see, oh, Robinson, 2 fouls, that's good. And then you see Malik Rose come in the game, you say, oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Marion, nice move inside. The finish won't go. Ball kept alive by Stoudemire, but it's going to be Spurs ball. But you have to like the way the Suns are really attacking the offensive glass.
Yeah, they're not settling for jump shots, and they are going to glass, and they're trying to get second and third shots. So I like to see Marion. He's one of the better guys in the league going up and getting second shots. He's such a quick jumper.
Tony Parker for 3. Long rebound. Marbury lets it goes out. Frank Johnson, the Suns coach. Big headline in today's Arizona Republic. Game 6 is ours. Made the guarantee yesterday. Obviously just trying to get some confidence in his team, but I'll never understand why anybody would want to guarantee anything. Just say, hey, we're going to go out, play our best, and try and win the game.
Well, I think you're right. He's trying to put a little fire underneath the Suns, because obviously they didn't have it in Game 5. They came out very lax days ago, got down by 24, 25 points early in the game. We're able to battle back, but against such a good team like the Spurs, you can't give that much of a cushion away.
Foul is on Bruce Bowen, so Bowen has 2 fouls. Bowen has been a big part of why Sean Marion has not shot the ball well. Bowen, one of the premier perimeter defenders in the league. He'll sit down, and Manu Ginobili, who's had an up-and-down series, is back in. Scott Williams. Stoudemire.
Good aggressive play by Stoudemire. He's so strong and so quick and jumps so well that it's going to be hard to keep him off the offensive boards if he wants to go through there with some veracity and not worry about picking up fouls.
And a defensive 3-second call against the Suns, so a technical foul and a 1-shot free throw. Steven Jackson immediately walks over. Jackson shooting pretty impressively from the free throw line throughout the playoffs. 16 of 17. Spurs have done a better job shooting their free throws. Was a part of their win down the stretch in Game 5. Jackson kind of whipped it in, and the Spurs lead is 2. Our officiating crew, that's Joe Forte along with Joe DeRosa and Bob Delaney. Malik Rose, who had just a huge game in Game 5, quickly off the bench with the foul problem. Shot clock down to 4. Parker backed away. Ginobili called for the reach-in foul, and a lot of fouls early on for the San Antonio Spurs. They're in the penalty with 8:01 remaining.
And that's not good for the Spurs, because the Suns are having a hard time scoring, obviously, and if they get the free throw line this early in the quarter, that's going to help them tremendously.
Although the Suns in the playoffs stand dead last in free throw shooting. They've been having their problems at the line at 70%. The only reason Marbury's having problems is because of that stinger.
These shots are a lot easier than have to go in there and shoot those floaters over guys like Tim Duncan. So, and plus they got Bowen on the bench. They got David Robinson on the bench. So anytime you can get 2 defensive players like that out of the game, it makes the offense a lot easier for the Suns also.
So Marbury's numbers in Game 5, the 5 turnovers as well. He really struggled. And as Dan said earlier, his strength was not there. He said his shoulder was tired. And it's still certainly not 100%. Malik Rose, quick move, ball knocked away. Good active hands defensively for the Suns early on.
That's what they've done all year, though. They're a very long, athletic team. They get their hands on a lot of balls, and that's why they trap a lot, and they're able to get out and do a good job of defending the three-point shot. They led the league in defending the three-point shot.
Well, we've seen a different Suns team to start the game than we did in Game 5, which was a big topic last couple of days, and how poorly Phoenix started that Game 5 when they were down by 24 by halftime. Malik Rose able to put it in. You heard phrases like, I don't understand why, I don't have an answer, I'm not sure. They just came out flat, although the way the Spurs came out, that was a big reason why the margin was so huge at halftime.
Well, the Spurs came out and protected their home floor, but the Suns didn't come out with any kind of urgency or tenacity. And the Spurs felt it, and that's what I love about Stoudemire. And Riley is Rookie of the Year because he's such a great athlete, and he's so tough down low at getting those offensive rebounds.
And a crowd into it as Amari Stoudemire off to a good start. 3 offensive rebounds for Stoudemire. Steven Jackson. And Penny Hardaway helping out on the boards. Hardaway's done a good job in that department throughout this series, averaging almost 6 rebounds a game. Marbury 0 for 2 to start. Rose. They're looking to double team Rose. He's starting to get a lot of respect. And Parker, nice move on the floater.
Good move by one of the 50 most beautiful people named by People magazine.
Was he in there?
Yeah, he was named in there, and I still understand why you're getting overlooked. I've been looking for your picture there and never see it.
You know, your sarcasm's really starting to bother me. Hardaway. Good defense from Ginobili. Played him excellent, but Marion shows you the kind of athlete he is, able to put it in.
Good shot by Marion. He has trouble sometimes going there and getting bumped and finishing. There he got a little bump, still be able to elevate and hit the shot. So that's a good sign for Sean Marion.
Stoudemire puts a hand up. Sometimes that makes all the difference.
Well, they'll live with shots like that. When Rose kills him, when he gets all the way to the basket and uses his strength, they would love to see him shoot 15-footers all day.
I think Duncan got a piece of it. And then a travel. Actually, obviously didn't get a piece of it if they called a travel on it. As Marbury caught his own missed shot. And we'll have a timeout. 5.5 remaining. First quarter of Game 6. All tied up. Affects the nerve and causes some numbness. Will affect him. He admitted that he wasn't quite as aggressive and passed up perhaps some moves and shots that he normally would take, and you could tell just by watching. Meanwhile, Parker's had a couple of strips of him early on. Suns have played a lot of zone at various times in the series, and the zone's been very effective. The hands, just a lot of deflected passes.
It's been good. They've been playing the passing lanes real well and daring them to take outside shots and make them. And so far, the Spurs haven't made a whole bunch of them. And a good sign there for Marbury hitting an outside jumper.
And that's the Suns' first lead since Game 4. It was a wire-to-wire victory in Game 5 for San Antonio. And after trailing by 6 early, Marbury knocks down the field goal. Marbury again, very aggressive. Parker being hounded. Parker fights back. Rose doesn't get it off in time. A 24-second violation. You know, Marbury's defense was excellent, but how about Scott Williams with the help defense out on the perimeter there?
Suns have done a good job of that. They help team defensive-wise. Somebody gets beat, they're there. They pressure the ball all the way out to the half court. Never let up. Never give a good look or an open man a good look. Because of it, they had a 24-second violation.
The Spurs, turnovers have been their problem. They're one Achilles heel all season long. They've got 4 already here in the first. And Scott Williams, Bo Outlaw in the game. Tried to make a nice play, but Malik Rose was right there. Double teaming on Duncan. He can't even touch the ball. Oh, Ginobili, not even close, hits the side of the backboard. Marion running the floor. Jackson made a nice play to knock it away. Marion thought he was fouled. And Hardaway settles things down for a moment. They're giving Scott Williams that shot. So far not hitting it tonight. Penny Hardaway right there. His numbers, points, rebounds, assists, and steals all up from the regular season.
Yeah, fantastic. And you see the Suns doing a good job of coming back and getting second rebounds. The guards are coming in. They're all pursuing the ball. The Spurs are kind of laying back. We're almost seeing the same thing here in Game 6 that we've seen in Game 5, only reverse. The Spurs have come out with little energy, and the Suns are controlling the game.
Greg Popovich calls timeout. 10 offensive rebounds for the Suns already. That's why they lead by 4. Again, the double teaming every single time he touches the ball, to the point where he hasn't even attempted a shot yet. And we've played a lot of minutes already. Jake Bosco, the latest to come in and try and guard him.
The second wave. And that's a good guy to bring in. He brings a lot of energy.
Well, that's something they're not in need of because they've had plenty of it to start. 15-6, the rebounding department, including 10-2 on the offensive boards. Parker able to put that in despite a good effort from Marbury to rotate and get a hand up.
And that's big for the Spurs. I mean, if they start hitting their outside shots, it's going to loosen up the coverage on Duncan. And so that's big for them to come out and hit a few big jump shots there and loosen up that defensive pressure.
Marbury trying to get a little fancy. Bosco picks it up, and a foul on Steven Jackson. Whack on the arm and free throws. They've been in the penalties since the 8-minute mark. However, they've only taken 5 free throw attempts. So Jackson picks up his first. And Bosco will go to the line. Was Bosco the hero of game 4 when he hit that last second shot? Said his cell phone voicemail has been packed in all the calls he's received.
I called him 5 times. I just said about time he did something.
Bosco knocks it down. Log on NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com for the exclusive 2003 playoff section featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. Bosco hits a pair. Suns by 4, just over 3 minutes to play here in the first.
Suns have attempted 21 shots to the Spurs 13 shots. And that's all because of second rebounds and offensive rebounds and second shots.
Steve Smith getting some time early. Steven Jackson only has 1 foul, but remember the tender ankle. Don't know if that had any impact on him coming out of the game. Malik Rose way off. Duncan finally gets off the shot, but that's way short. Well, the Suns are playing some excellent defense. We talk about the Spurs D, but the Suns defense in this series has been equally as good.
No, they're a good defensive team, and Coach Johnson's got to be very happy with what he's seeing out there. Malik Rose taking 20-footers and Tim Duncan. And I don't know what Outlaw was doing there. That ball was tipped, and I don't think he thought it was tipped.
No, well, Joe Forte signaling would have been a backcourt, but I don't think so. Ginobili touched it last. Outlaw would have been called for a travel. Now, that's the type of thing you should catch it and wait and have the official make the call.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he thought it was tipped, but it was. So instead of just grabbing and dribbling, he picked it up and ran with it.
Which is not legal in the NBA.
Which is not legal. Well, sometimes it is.
Parker splits the defenders beautifully, and another floater from Tony Parker. When he has played well, this team is practically unbeatable, and he looks pretty sharp early with 6 points.
And that's what good point guards will do when the team is very aggressive in their traps. He knows they're aggressive, and he'll often split that and use the aggression to his advantage.
Marion forces that shot. That's 2 shots, but he's had a hand in his face that he's been able to knock down.
Well, that's big because obviously Marbury's not 100%, so he needs somebody to step up. And Marion was an all-star this year. He's got to play like one this game.
6 different Suns have scored already. And a foul call down low on Malik Rose. So Rose picks up his first. Rose trying to act a little bit, but he initiated the contact. Bosco did give him a whack, but it appeared Rose initiated the contact. I think that's a good call.
Well, he bumped into Outlaw, and Outlaw gave him a shove that went right into Bosco.
Marbury so far just 1 for 4, but he has 4 rebounds. A couple of deflections as well. See now, when Marion has settled for the jumper in the series, he hasn't been effective. When he goes off the dribble and takes it strong, that's where he's had a success.
Well, that wasn't too bad a play because actually Ginobili tried to cheat on the screen and went underneath it. Sean read it pretty good and popped back for a jumper. Just happened to miss the shot.
Marion gets his hand on that, then contests the shot. And even though Ginobili hits that shot, you love that defense from Sean Marion. First a deflection, doesn't let it bother him, doesn't get it, goes out and puts a hand up.
Yeah, very quick and athletic, and Ginobili hits the shot. If they start hitting those threes, it's going to be a tough road for the Suns. There's another play where Marbury usually goes in and is able to get underneath, use the strength and make that shot, but that arm is just not strong enough.
Duncan with 2 blocked shots.
He blows by Speedy Claxton. Here, he's really good at finishing. And usually just powers his way up through there. And obviously Duncan's a big guy, but he's usually able to get the ball up there and at least get a foul on that play.
Final minute, first quarter. A different scenario from the last game, and another defensive 3-second stall against the Suns. It's their second, so a technical foul. Bo Outlaw trying to get a word from Frank Johnson. So Steve Smith will shoot the technical free throw.
You know what, I like that, though, because at least that means they're being aggressive. They're looking to help. They're at least knowing that they're going to have to help if somebody dives. In Game 5, everybody was just standing on the weak side, and Malik Rose was just cutting through the lane, getting nothing but layups. So at least Coach Johnson knows, well, at least my guys are aware of it. So what if they have a couple illegal defenses?
They're playing with so much energy defensively. Here's a perfect example from Sean Marion. First gets his hand on the ball.
He gets all the way out. And Marion was one of the leaders in the league in steals. He's very good at anticipating and getting his hand on the ball.
That's why they were the best team in the league in terms of defending the three during the regular season. Steve Smith, nice move off the dribble.
I love that guy, man. He's played for 12 years, just a great scorer, an ultimate professional. Hasn't got to play a lot, but when he comes in, he's very effective.
Of course, he's not happy about not playing, but he hasn't caused any kind of problem and is ready to play when his number's called.
Well, that's the key. I mean, all these guys are so talented. They want to play every minute they can, but he knows it disrupts the team, and he's not like that. He's going to get in there and do his best.
Oh, Marbury can't finish, though. Marion also can and dunk in the rebound. What a great move from Stephon Marbury, but he's now 1 of 6 from the field. His shooting numbers since that injury in Game 4 have really gone down. There's no question it's bothering him. Shot clock turned off, final seconds, first quarter. Speedy Claxton, that's a 2. And the perimeter guys hitting some shots.
That time Marion was just a little late in the rotation. He was a little hesitant, didn't get over there quick enough.
And that will end the first quarter. Suns shooting problems continue, just 29%, including 1 for 7 from Marbury. But their rebounding has made all the difference. 18-9, a +9 rebounding for the Phoenix Suns. As they try and stay alive in the series, they're down 4 after 1. And at America West Arena, Game 6 tonight, the Suns trailing by 4 as San Antonio went on an 8-0 run the last 2 minutes of the period. Scott Williams, Joe Johnson, Amari Stoudemire, Stephon Marbury, and Sean Marion out there for Phoenix. Marion again off the dribble, slips, and David Robinson forces the jump ball.
I think he hurt himself too.
So Marion a little shaken up on the play, but apparently okay. Good to see.
Sneakers just look slick. I don't know if he turned his knee or he just slipped on him, but
even great athletes can look clumsy on occasion. So they'll jump at the Suns free throw line circle.
I know, I played golf with him yesterday.
All right.
You were a great athlete.
There's no need to go there.
And you look clumsy.
Let's stick with the game.
I said you were a great athlete.
Opening minute here of the second quarter. Robinson wins the tip, but Duncan has to make a nice save. Speedy Claxton in the game. Claxton, a very good distributor. Sees the floor well. Although not as good a scorer as Parker, very good backup point guard. Ginobili. Well, that's a tough scoop layup. Doesn't go. And Stoudemire with another rebound, his 4th.
Suns are doing a great job on the board, but they're still only shooting 29%. So Spurs are again having a great defensive, game, but the Suns aren't just being able to complete any of the layups and missing jumpers. But a lot of that has to do with the pressure that the Spurs put on them and the hand in their face.
Well, one of the reasons that the Suns have so many offensive rebounds is because they've missed so many shots. The opportunities, but it's a different team that we saw in Game 5 aggressively to start. Marion kind of limps a little bit off when he comes out of the game. Joe Johnson trying to get free. Johnson is a guy that could use to start playing some effective minutes. Stoudemire had to throw it up. Shot clock was winding down. He wanted a foul, but a 24-second violation. And that's the 5th Suns turnover. During the regular season, the Suns were 30-11 in this building. They were one of the better home teams in the NBA. As we said earlier, the Spurs one of the best road teams. Smith is called for travel, 6th turnover. And we talked to Greg Popovich about why the road success. They've had a winning road record the last 6 years. They're always one of the best road teams. And he said a key is their consistent defense, and that's what this team has been built on.
Well, like I said, that's what you win on the road with is defense. Your offense isn't always going to be there, but no matter where you play, whether it be at home or on the road, you can always go out and give it the effort defensively, and that's what they did.
Claxton doing a good job battling Marbury. Williams, nice fake, but runs right in to Robinson. How about that? You make a great fake, get past Duncan, and who's there but David Robinson?
That's why they're so good defensively, too. But good job by Scott, because he's known as kind of a jump shooter.
Duncan, top play in traffic. Guys draped on him on a thread-the-needle pass from Manu Ginobili. First off, how does Ginobili get that pass in there? And then how does Duncan get that shot off?
Ginobili's amazing with his passing ability. He just makes the right passes, and he makes them look extremely easy. And then Duncan just versatile with both hands. Williams grabbed his right, he finishes it with the left. We were talking defensively about the Spurs, and what Coach said is that on the road, you just want to get it to the fourth quarter and get a chance to win, and that's what they do. They play good enough defense to get it to the fourth quarter and then have a chance to win. With Duncan on your team, I like your chances.
The last foul was on Scott Williams, his second. Largest lead here in the early going. Claxton knocks it away. Good poking ahead. And Speedy Claxton inside. Excellent defense from Speedy Claxton. And Frank Johnson not happy. Calls a timeout. As the San Antonio Spurs score the first 5 points of the second quarter after scoring the last 8 points of the first quarter. And the lead now up to 9. Disappointing first-round loss for the Pacers as the Boston Celtics first team to advance in the East, and they'll await the Nets-Bucks winner. New Jersey can wrap it up tonight in Milwaukee, leading currently. And of course, the Pistons and the Hornets staying alive with victories yesterday to force Game 6 in those series, which will be tomorrow night on ESPN.
I've been there, man. Winning is never as good as losing is bad. It just tears your heart apart when you play hard all year long and never make it to where you want to get. It's a tough pill to swallow, and that's where most players work and drive off that all summer to get themselves better.
And the 3 seed knocked out in the opening round. Very evenly matched playoff series. Joe Johnson can't hit. Stoudemire keeps it alive, but Claxton able to get it. Claxton a little out of control. Somehow manages to hold on and knocked away. Marion, good hands. Marbury and Johnson. Offensive foul. Malik Rose steps in and draws the charge.
This is what the Suns want to do. They want to get out of the break. Marbury makes a good pass, and Malik Rose does a great job of holding his ground and taking the charge. And it's a good play because Joe Johnson's one of the guys that the Suns have to get off for them to play well.
But you got to know when a guy's there. Pull up. The pull-up jumper is sometimes a lost art. Phoenix hasn't scored yet here in this period. Again, trouble down the stretch of the first quarter. Malik Rose offensive rebound, knocked out of bounds. Still Spurs ball, 23 on the shot clock. You know, we were watching earlier, talking during that last timeout. You notice Stephon Marbury's body language it's just not the same.
No, he seems real dejected. I'm sure the injury's weighing on his mind. Like, why does this have to happen now? Because it's such a big game for him. He's just got to try to get it out of his head and play hard. Maybe not be able to shoot or score the way he wants to, but create for the rest of his team.
He's the #1 reason why this was a difficult matchup for the Spurs, as Robinson tips it out, but a bad play because Joe Johnson right there. Look at the hustle from Claxton. Crowd wants a flagrant, but that's not a flagrant foul.
It's a great foul by Speedy Claxton. He went down, he made sure Joe Johnson didn't get the and one, and then he held him up. That's just a good hard foul in the season.
And he does the good sportsmanship thing after.
Yeah, you can't get any cleaner than this. He does the great thing. You don't want to, tap a guy so he go up and finish the layup. He grabs him, then make sure he doesn't fall in the crowd.
You might say, hey, wait a minute, he didn't go for the ball, but that has no bearing whatsoever on whether or not a flagrant foul is called. Flagrant 1 is unnecessary contact, and he went in and he made the foul, but he did it in the right sort of way.
These guys are so strong. If you go up and try to go for the ball or make it just not a hard foul, they're strong enough where they can go up and create the shot and make the shot and go to the free throw.
Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs continue. Detroit and Orlando. Magic trying to wrap that series game up. Sixers and Hornets. Hornets trying to stay alive. Those games on ESPN, and then Dallas and Portland on ESPN2 at 10:30 Eastern. How about Portland with a victory in Dallas to keep that series alive? And a lot of fun playoff games. It's only the first round. Smith looking for Rose. Rose triple team. They go right back to the well. And one's too often that time. Good double teaming.
Great job by Hardaway to get his hand on the ball. He's a lot smaller than Rose, but he reached in and got the steal.
Malik Rose getting the Tim Duncan treatment.
He should with Hardaway guarding. There's no way he can guard him. Good move there by the Rook.
Amari Stoudemire. He's got an extra bounce to his step. He's been frustrated, as we said earlier. He said the other day, I've been in foul trouble this whole series, and since the game one, he's been in a bit of a roller coaster ride, mainly because of foul problems.
You can see his development there. When I first saw him play this early, he would go nothing but right. There he made a nice move with the left and finished with his left.
Smith way short. Marbury sets up Stoudemire nicely. Stoudemire trying to push his way to get the rebound. Boy, Rose and Joe Johnson going at it. This is where Joe Johnson in the small lineup can play a guy like Malik Rose, and an offensive foul is called against Malik Rose. Joe Johnson frustrating Rose a little bit, and that's his second personal.
Joe Johnson's one of the few guys on this team, the smaller guys, who can guard Malik Rose. He's strong enough and he's big enough where he can pressure Rose where he just can't back him down, and that's what he's got to do. Rose ran around and actually had his way with every player on that team in Game 5. It's good to see Joe Johnson step up there and not let Rose intimidate.
Rose has 2, Robinson has 2, and Bruce Bowen. Meanwhile, for Phoenix, the only player with 2 is Scott Williams. Rose will take a seat, not having the same impact that he did in Game 5. Good ball movement, but good rotation defensively, and a foul. Steve Smith with some contact, and Marion will shoot a couple. Smith picks up his first. Check that, his second foul. So free throws coming up for Sean Marion.
Number 31, Sean Marion.
Marion's still rebounding very well. 11 per game in this series. But the shooting numbers, 36% from the free throw line and 25% from three-point range from the field, I should say. Coming up at 10:30 Eastern on TNT, Game 6 between the Timberwolves and the Lakers. Live from the Staples Center. A lot of people think after that blowout in Game 5 the Timberwolves are done. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think that's going to be a very competitive game.
Well, I think it's going to be a great game, but the thing about the Lakers, they seem to turn it up when they need to. They can win on the road. The bottom line is you have Shaq. He's the best player in the league. I know Tim Duncan or Kevin Garnett's going to get the MVP or whoever. Shaq is the best player in the league.
The winner of that series plays the winner of this series. Duncan, triple team, forces it up, and Stoudemire the rebound.
It's one of the few times you've seen in the series where Tim Duncan actually is taking a bad shot. He had 3 guys on there. He usually makes a good pass out. That time he tried to take it himself.
How about Hardaway? Fancy move leaves Steven Jackson in his tracks. And a 7-0 run by the Phoenix Suns. As Greg Popovich a bit concerned. 5 minutes gone by, second quarter. Suns back within 2. America West Arena alive again. Frank Johnson's team shooting 30% from the field, but they're only down by 2. Marbury looked a little down earlier, but even though he's 1 of 7 from the field, he's doing the other things to help his team. Tony Parker back in the game for the Spurs. Duncan, strip. Boy, so many strips and deflections. Marbury, great move. And Parker's shaken up. He got hit in the head by one of the trailers on the play, inadvertent.
Marbury broke his ankle, and then he got kicked in the back of the head by Stoudemire.
That's a difficult play, Tony Parker.
Oh, there's no way to stop Marbury when he's going 90 feet full speed. I don't care who you are. Nobody's going to stop him.
Robinson throws it away. San Antonio really struggling right now.
When he gets a full head of steam, there's nobody in the league who's going to stop him. Just does a nice crossover there and lays it up. You see Parker there getting kicked in the back of the head by Stoudemire.
Let's go to Reggie Theus.
Mike, in that last timeout, Coach Popovich was incensed with his team, telling the guys, we are much better than the way we're playing. We're making stupid fouls, and some of the guys have got their head up their jacket sleeve. Or something like that, you know what I mean, Mike? And then they come back out, make a couple of turnovers. I know Popovich is not happy right now, Mike.
Well put, Reggie. As Greg Popovich had that same feeling in the third quarter of Game 5. He said that his team played like a high school team when they nearly blew a 24-point lead. He called it abysmal. But, of course, they held on and got the victory.
I need Reggie to clear that up for me later. I'm not exactly sure what he meant.
I think he wanted to avoid the real mean words that he said in the huddle. Bruce Bowen back in the game. He had early foul trouble. Stoudemire is just draped over Duncan. He's done a very good job on him. Rose inside, reverse. Can't finish but a foul. Penny Hardaway picks up the personal. Penny Hardaway now with 2.
And that's where he's very effective. He got a switch on the pick and roll with Stephon Marbury and Joe Johnson. Marbury had to guard in the post. He realized it, spun quickly before the double team came, took it to the basket and got fouled.
So Parker came out quickly, comes back in after that brief discussion with Popovich. He throws long on the free throw. Free throw shooting, the other Achilles heel for the Spurs, if there is such a thing for a team that wins 60 games. But that's only their first miss tonight, 5 of 6. Each team goes through stretches where their offense just looks horrible, whether it be turning it over, bad shots. And you got to credit, you have 2 good defensive teams, 2 different defensive teams, but 2 very good Ds.
Well, you said it has to do with the defense. First the Suns come out with a lot of energy, and then the Spurs, and now it's back to the Suns, causing the hits, making the hard tracks.
Sean Marion off the dribble. Ball just came out of his hands. Stoudemire right there to help out his teammate. Stoudemire inside, blocked by Duncan, and a jump ball. 3rd block for Tim Duncan, who leads all playoff in block shots per game. Duncan with an excellent play defensively there. He's averaging almost 3.5 blocks a game in the postseason. Duncan, quick back tip.
Jump ball has deteriorated in this league. Everybody tries to steal it. They don't want to get to the top yet.
You're supposed to wait. The rule is to wait for it to hit its apex. But everybody, as you say, everybody's doing it now. Rose, nice move inside. Good patient move.
And that's where he killed him in Game 5. Same thing. They go and double team off of Duncan or onto Duncan. Malik just dives right down the paint. And by the time a Suns player gets there, it's too late. He's already caught the ball and he's underneath the basket.
Duncan only has 5 points, but he has 4 assists. That's been the story in the series. Frank Johnson has just said, hey, somebody else is going to have to beat us. Marbury lost it. Tony Parker's played Marbury pretty tough tonight. Parker, an improving defender. Bowen gets it inside. Duncan short. Marbury pokes it out. That's where Marbury, even though you can tell his shooting touches in there, can still help the team. But he has 4 turnovers in the game in addition to shooting 2 of 8. C.C. Jacobson will come in. We've got another team in the East advancing, New Jersey Nets. After that series was tied at 2 apiece, they get the victory in Milwaukee. And they'll play the Boston Celtics now, so a second-round matchup is all set. Just over 4.5 remaining here in the second. Along with Dan Marley and Reggie Theus, Mike Breen on hand for Game 6. Parker nearly came down. Jackson. Steven Jackson rushed it. And Marion with the rebound. 7 rebounds for Sean Marion. Joe Jackson. Boy, could they use a boost from Joe Johnson, who's shooting 24% from the field in the series.
It looks like Jackson may have re-injured that ankle or knee, whatever he had when he hurt last game. He came down wincing and limped back.
He hurt both in the last game as Duncan drops at him. The ankle is the more severe injury. Duncan now 2 of 5 from the field. So after some initial runs, settled in a little bit here in the second quarter. Marion. So much of Sean Marion tonight off the dribble.
He's got to be aggressive. I mean, he's not going to be able to get all the way basket. That's not his game. That's not some break. He's able to pull up and hit those 16-footers, consistently, then the Suns will have a better chance.
Greg Popovich will use his 22nd timeout. Marion 10 points and 7 rebounds. Tim Duncan gets a little chat with Joe DeRosa. And Popovich will talk it over. Shooting numbers, San Antonio 43%. And the Suns have theirs up to 35%. Coming up on the Verizon at the half, Ernie, Kenny, and Charles will be in the studio having a look at Game 6 between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. That's coming up tonight. Plus highlights of Boston's victory against Indiana and New Jersey's win over the Milwaukee Bucks. It's all coming up on the horizon at the half. Still a little over 3.5 remaining. This is game 6. The Suns, who have given the Spurs fits all season long. They won 3 out of 4 in the regular season. They've battled them throughout this playoff. Want to force that game 7, and they feel they can win at the SBC Center. Although they'd have to beat them 2 in a row. Spurs have not lost 2 games in a row since the last 2 games in December. Duncan rushed it. Bowen for 3. Way off the mark. And Sean Marion saves it. Marion having one of his better active halves of this series.
They certainly need it. Like I said before, it's either do or die right now. When Marbury hurt, they need somebody to step up. And there, Marion didn't get the shot. They made a great look. Hit Stoudemire for the dunk.
So the front court, the starting front court for Phoenix, a combined 19 points and 13 rebounds with Marion and Stoudemire. And the Suns have regained the lead. Just under 3 to play here in the second. Duncan lost it again. 12 turnovers for the Spurs. Marion again off the dribble. Sean Marion bouncing around. And Marbury cheering on his teammates. Rose trying to settle it down. Travel on Rose. Boy, Joe Johnson, excellent defense.
Johnson's doing a great job on Malik Rose.
A 12-point turnaround in this period. Spurs were up by 9. Now they trail by 3. On a roll. As Phoenix has turned around here in the second quarter. They were down by 9 earlier in the period. Sean Marion, 12 points and 8 rebounds. For the Spurs, meanwhile, that same problem. They lead. San Antonio leads all playoff teams in turnovers, averaging over 18 a game. Last time they played here, game 4, they had 25 turnovers. And right now they've got 13 already, and there's still 2.5 to play in the half.
Yeah, that's what Coach Popovich said. Free throw shooting in turnovers, especially on the road, loses games. They can't turn the ball over that much on the Phoenix Suns floor and hope to win the game.
Hardaway for 3. And the Suns with their largest lead of the first half. A 20-5 run for the Phoenix Suns. Ginobili. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. And Stoudemire, bad foul from Amari Stoudemire. It's only his second. But with the shot clock at 7 and then 3/4 court away, he just got a little bit over-aggressive.
Yeah, that's being a little young. Obviously, he wants to be aggressive and keep the energy up. But you can't foul somebody with the shot clock running down 60 feet away from the basket.
Bosca will come in, and Frank Johnson does not want Stoudemire to pick up his 3rd. 9 points, 5 rebounds, but just aggressive, attacking, keeping balls alive, deflecting. That's what Stoudemire and the Suns defense has done. Ginobili was wide open underneath, but Parker couldn't get him the ball. His own defense from Phoenix again. Parker, tough shot over Marion. For Tony Parker. He's got 8 points, and of his 4 field goals, 3 of them have been difficult shots.
Yeah, that was very impressive. He drove the lane, got cut off by Marion, stepped back, and hit a tough jumper with a hand in his face.
Joe Johnson turns it over. Bad pass that Bowen just had fall into his hands. Parker has a little bit of a feel. Not that time, though. And a loose ball foul is going to go against the Phoenix Suns. Jake Bosco. Bosco and Tim Duncan getting entangled. Bosco picks up his first. Watch down low.
I don't know. That's a tough call either way. I mean, that's a no call to me. You got both guys grabbing and pushing. One guy pushes, the other guy hangs down and falls down. But 2 guys like that, it's hard to tell who causes the contact.
The thing was, Bosco he just had his back to the play and to the ball, and it's just all he was doing was trying to stop Duncan. That's probably why the call was made.
It's called a front box out, though. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Bosco didn't care if he got the rebound. He just didn't want Duncan to get the rebound. And that's exactly what he wanted to do in that situation. Just face guarding and make sure he didn't get the rebound. And they were both batting, so tough call.
You saw Duncan's numbers. Add to that 4 assists, and maybe more impressively for Duncan, 5 for 5 from the line. He was 6 for 6 from the line in the final minute of Game 5, so he's getting a little more confidence back at the free throw line after struggles early in the series.
Spurs have gone to a zone here.
Hardaway, another 3. That was a 2-0 put on the line, and Duncan with a rebound. Minute remaining here in the first half. Suns with a 2-point advantage. Parker aggressively going to the basket. Tony Parker, 10 points. And playing well again.
A lot of indecision there. Hardaway didn't know whether to come over. He kind of played the passing lane. Parker realized he was halfway. Instead of taking a jump shot, drove the lane and had an easy layup.
Joe Johnson. When you're not shooting the ball well, you'll take anything.
No, and it's great for the Suns to have Joe Johnson start to play a little better than Penny Hardaway. Those are 2 guys who are the X factors on this team to come in and score.
Malik Rose seeing a lot of double teams tonight. Then Marion closes out. Rose not used to it, having a little trouble getting out of the double teams. Parker. Boy, nice pass to Rose. Marion couldn't hold on, and a loose ball foul call against the Spurs.
Good call on Joe Forte there. He had Tony Parker with a push in the back on the offensive rebound.
They're not in the penalty yet, and Frank Johnson will use his 20. Each team gets a 20-second timeout in each half, and if you don't use it in the first half, it's gone, so Johnson taking advantage. Although in the second half, you can carry it into overtime if the game goes extra. So Johnson will talk it over. See 19.2 remaining. Shot clock is turned off. And Phoenix down by 9 early in the second period. Now with a 2-point lead. After shooting 29% from the field in the first quarter, they've turned it around in the second quarter. 9 for 14 shooting. Very impressive.
It's been very impressive. They've done it mainly with their defense. They've been very aggressive on the defensive end. They've caused some turnovers. They got out, and they've been aggressive on the other end. They've been real aggressive taking the ball to the basket.
Leading scorers in the game, Sean Marion with 12. He leads Phoenix, and Tony Parker with 10. And you can see not a very high-scoring first half. So shot clock turned off. Stephon Marbury, 2 of 8 from the field. And 4 turnovers. Spurs sitting back in the zone. Clock winding down. Johnson, nice pass. Jacobson for 3. Parker, and that will end the first half. This crowd ready to explode if that one went down.
They got exactly what they wanted. They penetrated, found Casey Jacobson, who's a very good 3-point shooter in the corner. Had a great look at it.
So Game 6, another close one. And for the first time in the series, the Suns lead at halftime. It's 43-41. We'll go to Ernie, Kenny, and Charles coming up after this timeout. The Suns, though, leading the San Antonio Spurs 43-41 here in Game 6 of this best-of-7 series. Hi again, everyone, along with Dan Marley, Mike Green on hand. This might be a stupid thing to say. But the Suns are playing like a team that's on the verge of elimination. Attacking, aggressive, all-out hustle.
They are. They're playing great. They did it on the boards early, then their defense ended up getting them some easy offensive play, and I think Sean Marion's done a fantastic job of being more aggressive, and Amari Stoudemire stepped up and played well.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers, and again, doing it despite Stephon Marbury not being 100%. Tonight's Home Depot game summary. Shooting numbers, both teams playing good defense. That's a big reason for that, but the rebounding key for San Antonio, and especially on the offensive rebounds. Let's now go to Reggie Theus.
Well, Mike, for the Suns, Frank Johnson's very happy with the way his team came out, with the energy that they had. Defensively, they have to keep a body on Rose on the rotation of the ball. And offensively, if they keep moving the ball side to side, it keeps their defense in limbo so they can play good offense. For the Spurs, Coach Popovich is very unhappy with the way they're rebounding. They said if they're going to double Tim Duncan down low, one of my guys from the perimeter, they have to be ready to do something on the outside when they get the ball. Don't play scared. Mike?
All right, Reg. It has been a tough assignment all season for them, playing against these Phoenix Suns, giving them fits. And a foul call on Bruce Bowen. Bowen has picked up his 3rd foul. Only played 11 minutes in the first half. Got quick foul problems. Obviously, the first team foul, Greg Popovich. It's certainly nothing like You know, you take this to, you're up 3-2 and you relax a little bit because they know how good Phoenix can be. And they know Phoenix can beat them in San Antonio. Marbury, way long again. Marbury now 2 for 9 from the field.
Well, the Spurs had to figure the Suns were going to come out tonight and play a good brand of basketball because these guys have too much pride. They didn't get here in the NBA without pride. They knew they were going to go down, easy. So the Suns have come out with a lot of energy and played well, and the Spurs are still in the ballgame.
Because of their defense. Turnover is a big story in this game. As we said earlier, they had 25 turnovers in Game 4. San Antonio did 13 in the first half. But Sean Marion knocks down the 3, and Phoenix goes up by 5.
And that's when they shoot their best three-pointers, is when it comes off penetration, the inside-outside game.
Jackson. And a foul. Plenty of bodies falling all over the place as David Robinson went inside. And this one will go against Sean Marion. So Marion picks up his first. Spurs wanted a charge, but it appeared that was more of a flop. So Robinson will go to the free throw line. Robinson in this series, 8 of 10 from the line. 80% from the line, 63% from the field. He has played very well despite limited minutes and despite playing in pain as he misses the first free throw. This is it for David Robinson. When the Spurs are done this season, he will wrap up a very distinguished career. Hard to say which more distinguished on or off the court. Well, he's accomplished.
Yeah, both have been great. And obviously, he's not 100%, but he's still out there battling every night, doing everything he can to help the Spurs win.
And his presence made an enormous difference in Game 5 and also early in this one, where the Spurs at one point were up by 9. Hardaway. Long three. Stephon Marbury.
He got a shot of feeling in that arm there. He was long enough where he just had to let it fly. Marbury's usually good at hitting those kind of shots. It's good to see that for the Suns.
Largest lead of the game for Phoenix. Marbury has struggled shooting the basketball since the injury. Steven Jackson, good aggressive move, can't finish. Here comes Anthony Hardaway. Good transition defense by the Spurs. Not a good shot from Hardaway.
No, but a great drive by Steven Jackson. I think he was fouled on that play, but it just shows to show you when the refs see a team playing aggressive, sometimes they let those little things go because the team is playing so aggressive.
And they've done that since the opening tip. Robinson deep and a foul before the shot. Mo Outlaw called for the personal. Second team foul against the Suns. Outlaw picks up his first. Outlaw getting more minutes. He was a big part of the comeback in Game 5 in that third quarter. They played a lot of full court press. Chaos on the floor sometimes when Outlaw's out there. Marbury knocks it away, but a foul. And they're going to call it a 2-shot foul. Stephon Marbury picking up the personal. That's his first. Marbury doesn't argue.
Good job. A good job by Duncan reposting, getting lower into the block. Bowen makes a nice pass in. Duncan feels a double team, turns into Marbury. Marbury hacks him on the arm, leaves the ball. Good call.
So Duncan back to the line where he's 5 for 5.
And the green jinx works again.
For some reason you continue to think this is a theory. Goes 0 for 2, but Robinson with a big offensive rebound, but a whistle and a loose ball foul against David Robinson. Greg Popovich not happy. Robinson not happy. As Robinson picks up his third. Let's take a look.
And I said it before, when David Robinson complains, it's usually not a foul, but I got to say that's a foul. I mean, he put the forearm right in the middle of the back and just rooted him out.
You know, sometimes it doesn't appear that it's that severe a push. It doesn't matter. If it's the slightest push that knocks the guy out of the way, that's a foul.
Well, look at David Robinson's arms. Any push is severe.
Good defense that time by San Antonio. 8-point Phoenix lead. And what is an elimination game for them? Trying to force a Game 7 on Saturday. Bruce Bowen can't hit. Bowen still without a field goal. Marion, meanwhile, now with 10 rebounds to go with his 15 points. Marion wide open, puts it in, another three.
He got that shot because he was so late coming down on the offense. All 9 players were back. Marion kind of just moseyed way back, found himself nobody guarding, got a nice pass and nailed the three.
Standing ovation at America West Arena as the Suns open up the third quarter with a 9-0 run. Sean Marion exploding, and the lead is 11 for the Phoenix Suns. The crowd on its feet throughout that timeout cheering Sean Marion and the Phoenix Suns. He has had maybe his best game of this series. You see the difference when he's in and when he's out. 18 points and 10 rebounds for Sean Marion.
Exactly what the Suns needed. He hasn't had a very good series at all. He's picking a good time to step it up and do what he's done all year long for the Suns, which is score and rebound.
Here's that full court pressure. A small lineup out there for the Phoenix Suns. Robinson, nice feed into Duncan. And Duncan too strong. Gets it again. Blocked by Outlaw. Jackson. Oh, beautiful setup from Steven Jackson. And the easiest two for Duncan.
Good penetration and finds a wide open Duncan underneath the basket. Easy basket for Tim Duncan. He did a good job of stepping in there. Just missed the shot. Got the rebound. And Jackson just made a terrific play.
That's the first points of the period. Took him 3.5 minutes to score here in the third quarter as Marion throws it away and upset with himself. Both teams turning it over too much tonight. 12 for San Antonio, 13. Or excuse me, 12 for Phoenix and 13 for San Antonio. Whereas game 5 was a wire to wire for San Antonio. Number of lead changes in this one. Parker with another beautiful floater. Tony Parker with 12. And the Spurs back within 7.
I love that play. David Robinson sets a pick, then goes right back and gets him again. Marbury wasn't ready for the second pick. He was able to turn the corner and hit the little floater.
And a foul call on Tony Parker, riding Marbury a little bit. So Parker picks up his second.
This is on the second pick. Marbury thought he got over the first one fine. Wasn't expecting Robinson to come back and set another pick. He was able to get hung up, went in the line, into the lane, and hit a nice little floater.
That's such a great shot for a guard to have going in there. Marbury, that's become one of his best shots. Parker using it very effectively as well. Penny Hardaway can't hit. David Robinson with the rebound, his 6th. Duncan and Stoudemire very physical down low. Parker wide open for 3. Duncan knocked down by Hardaway. Stoudemire complaining he felt Duncan pushed off on him. But Penny Hardaway picks up his 3rd.
Here we see the two big men battling. He makes a nice pass to Tony Parker, who misses a wide open 3. Yeah, there was no foul there. It's just a good rebound by Tim Duncan.
His 9th rebound. And Bo Outlaw over aggressive on his post defense against David Robinson. And now the Suns in the penalty with 7:17 remaining.
That's what happens a lot of times when you're double teaming a big man and he passes it out. It's almost hard sometimes to get accurate box-out situations for the big man and the small man because so many bodies are moving that sometimes it's hard to find the man to box out.
Spurs 0 for 4 from the line in the third quarter. As he hits that one, NBA.com has compiled 10 of the best shots in NBA playoff history. Log on to see the candidates and vote for the best shot only on NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com. Free throw problems continue. How many times in this playoffs have we seen missed free throws batted back out and the offensive team is getting it?
When I played, you were taught to be, if you're a guard outside the three-point line, you get in there, you box out a shooter. There's no way a shooter should be able to get his own rebound. You got to get in there, block him off, and secure the rebound.
As Parker draws the foul, you make it sound like you played a long time ago.
It was like 9 months ago.
Parker will shoot 2. And again, I mean, most people realize what the rule is, but the shooter is not allowed to cross the free throw line until the ball either hits the backboard or the rim. Those along the lane, they can go soon as the ball is released from the shooter's hand. Same thing for those who are beyond the three-point mark, who are not in the lane. They can go soon as it's released from the shooter's hand. But Parker or any shooter has to wait till the ball hits the rim or the backboard.
Yeah, there's just no excuse for the shooter to be able to get his own rebound. The guard's at the top of the key. Very seldom are the guys that guard out there going to run in and get a rebound. One of the guys has got to go in and secure the shooter.
Well, the Spurs have kind of bounced back a little 7-0 run since that last timeout. And the lead cut to 4. 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Marbury, offensive foul. Robinson was right there. And Marbury just lowered the shoulder. So Stephon Marbury picks up his 2nd.
That's what's impressive about David Robinson. At his size, he's able to move his feet even with his injuries. take the punishment from Marbury. Nice play by the Admiral.
That's 6 turnovers for Stephon Marbury. Duncan, bad pass. The Suns touch it last.
Great idea, though. They've been playing that high-low game for as long as they've been in this lead together. Robinson pushes man up. It was just too hard of a pass by Duncan. Good idea, though.
Shot clock reset. I guess they felt that the Suns had possession after they lost the ball. Jackson, Robinson tips it out again, but this time it's going to be Phoenix ball. The San Antonio Spurs certainly don't want to get involved in a Game 7. And as we've said all along, you never know what can happen in a Game 7. They want to wrap up the series tonight. Outlaw. Stoudemire goes right at Tim Duncan. 11 points for Amari Stoudemire. Tony Parker upset. He felt Bo Outlaw bumped him. They just get it across the timeline. About 7.8 seconds.
There you see what Bo Outlaw saw. He's so aggressive on the defensive end. You can go out there with his size and guard the little man, make him take bad shots.
Robinson, Duncan gets it. Duncan stripped, but a foul. Sean Marion furious. Crowd first thought that Tony Parker traveled, and I think then they felt that there was an loose ball foul on a rebound, and then the foul call on Marion. 2 fouls on Marion. See Frank Johnson saying, box out, box out.
Parker goes up for the up and under. And Robinson gets a tip on the ball. Tips it back to Duncan. He's got an easy layup. It looks like Sean Marion had all ball on that one. That's a tough call.
Yep. So Duncan will shoot 2. Spurs 12 of 18 from the free throw line. He missed the first one and hits the second one. 4-point game. We're midway through the third. The emotions obviously running high for the Suns and their fans in what could be their final game of the season. The 8 seed, they're trying to become the third 8 seed. They didn't call for 1 seed, and Marbury hits a 3.
Just a simple pick and roll with Bo Outlaw. Marbury comes up. I don't think the Spurs are respecting Marbury's shot anymore because they think he hurt. Tony Parker kind of went underneath, and Marbury had a wide open 3.
Suns are 4 for 4 from downtown in this third period. Jackson, nice move from Jackson into Robinson. Jackson said that a couple of times.
Beautiful play. Like I said before, when the team is so aggressive on the pick and rolls and try to get out there traffic, the best thing a guard can do is split it. He split the double team, made Robinson's man come pick him up, hit him for an easy dunk.
Parker fights over the screen, but Marbury's so quick. Bo Outlaw, left-handed. Stoudemire, the follow. The rookie Amari Stoudemire with a very aggressive game. 13 points and 7 rebounds. Suns by 7. Parker throws it away. Marion throws it away. Marbury was out of bounds. Marbury upset, but he's lucky that he didn't get called for pushing off Tony Parker.
Yeah, you're right. In that fast break, they had 2 guys too close together. Marbury and Marion are too close together. Marion should have held on to the balls. Marbury spaced himself on the floor and then made the pass.
Marbury's obviously not 100%. That injury is bothering his shooting motion, but he's playing much more aggressive here in the second half. The argument now is whether or not Manu Ginobili got to the scores table to get in time, but he did not. So Ginobili will wait for the next whistle. 4.5 remaining, third quarter. Jackson for 3. Steven Jackson had a hand in his face, but able to knock it down, and he's got 10 points.
Really nothing you can do with that. They're going to go double Tim Duncan. He makes a nice quick pass. Hardaway got out there, put a hand up in the face. Jackson just hit a nice shot.
They try and work the pick and roll with Marion. Parker is on Marion. Sean Marion. Outlaw. Offensive rebound. Oh boy, Outlaw. What a spark here in the third quarter. That's a 3. Outlaw again. Trying to keep it alive. What a save from Bo Outlaw. Hardaway left-handed. And Duncan the rebound.
That's too bad. It was just a great play by Bo Outlaw. It showed his energy, what he does for this team with his enthusiasm and his offensive rebounds.
And Outlaw down the other end now, aggressively defending Malik Rose. Steven Jackson for three. Malik Rose that time with it.
Bo Outlaw's counterpart, Malik Rose, who does the exact same thing for the Spurs, comes back and gets an offensive rebound. Both those guys are dirt workers who do the things that sometimes they'll show up in the stats, but their teammates just love it.
Coaches love to have players like that. Duncan from the inside. Outlaw the rebound. That time he boxed out Rose. Suns by 4, 3 minutes remaining in the third. Stephon Marbury. Outlaw trying to keep it alive. And they say it's going to be Spurs ball. But Joe Forte coming in to check with Joe DeRosa on whether or not to change the call. Now they change the call. And that appeared to be the right way to do it. Suns will get it when we come back here late in the third. They lead by 4. The Ring of Honor here at America West Arena. The retired numbers of the great players from the days of the Phoenix Suns. Walter Davis, Alvin Adams, Tom Chambers, Kevin Johnson, and yes, number 9, Dan Marley. That's a bad picture of you. This was back in March 9th when they retired your number. You know, all
Wearing the same suit.
All kidding aside, that must have been a very emotional night.
It was a great night, and I got to thank the Colangelos and the whole city of Phoenix. I played 8 years here and had a terrific career and make this my home, obviously. So it's a great honor to be up there, and it just shows you what a lot of cash and compromising pictures will get you.
You know, we like to tease all the time. I said something earlier about Malik Rose and Bo Outlaw, the kind of players coaches love. You fall into that category, my friend.
But I just tried to play hard. You know, I didn't have all the talent in the world, but I came out to play hard every night, tried to do the little things to help my team win.
Suns certainly playing hard in their elimination game as they lead by 4. Bosco nailed Ginobili on a screen. Outlaw couldn't get control of that tip. 2.5 remaining in the third. Duncan, they're all over Duncan. They won't even let the pass get in there. They're doubling before he gets the ball. Ginobili trying to work it with Malik Rose. Steven Jackson for 3. Duncan right there.
And that hurts when you play good, solid defense for about 22 seconds, and they get an air ball, rebound, and put it in with no time left on the clock.
Spurs have 8 offensive rebounds in this third quarter. Duncan now 15 points, 14 boards, and 6 assists. Joe Johnson. And Duncan with another rebound. 2 minutes to go. 2-minute game here in the third. Stoudemire ready to come back in. Malik Rose spinning. Offensive foul. Bo Outlaw with another hustle play.
Good job by Outlaw to go there and get position. Rose walks. Rose comes in there, plants, and tries to turn on Outlaw and just lowers the shoulder, throws the elbow. Good play by Outlaw.
So Rose picking up his third foul. Bo Outlaw in his 10th year in the league, 32 years old, still playing with the same enthusiasm and energy as when he first came into the league. One of those guys not drafted, just worked and hustled his way into the NBA.
Spends hours in the weight room, really conditions his body. He plays a lot of basketball, just loves to play.
He's, they say, the strongest guy on the team.
Well, now that I retire.
Remaining here in the third. Ginobili. Duncan again, double team every time he has it. Ginobili hits it. A 3-pointer for Manu Ginobili. And the San Antonio Spurs regain the lead.
He's just so patient. I mean, he never hurries. He catches the ball, he holds on to it, he surveys the land, then hits the open guy.
Marbury inside. Tough shot won't go. Rose rips it down.
Looks like he just lost control there. He made a nice drive and just lost it halfway up.
A minute remaining in the third. Parker fouled as he goes to the basket. They're going to call it on Marbury. Marbury picks up his third. Suns in the penalty, so Parker will go there.
We're seeing a lot of that. Like I said, when the Suns are so aggressive on their blitzes or their double teams, that they're just starting to shoot the gap on those screens and rolls. And that time he shot the gap and got a foul on rookie Stoudemire.
Tony Parker having a strong game. Major League Baseball action returns tomorrow night to TBS Superstation. At 10 Eastern, Atlanta Braves taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're playing right next door as Marion will sit down. Parker doesn't have any assists, but he's got 15 points. And once again, a missed free throw turns into a new possession for the San Antonio Spurs.
That's just got to drive Frank Johnson nuts. If they get him missed on the free throw line, and this is like 2 or 3 times we've been able to get the possession back.
Parker sits, Claxton's in. Frank Johnson leading the team to the playoffs after they missed it last year. After the number 8 seed, Rose gets the roll.
Good job of just coming in from out of bounds, stepping in front of Stoudemire, got way too low position, just turned around and shot a nice little right-handed jump shot.
Well, a 15-point turnaround now for the Spurs. They were down 11 earlier in the period, and now lead by 4.
Spurs are back in the zone.
We've seen a little more zone than we've had earlier in the series. Johnson. You're almost saying to the Suns, you've got to hit some outside shots.
I think it's a great defense for the Spurs because it takes away some of their penetration. Like you said, it comes down to them hitting some outside jumpers.
Phoenix has now missed 9 straight from the field. They're back to 36% shooting. Steve Smith for 3. Smith in and out. Bosco with the rebound. Shot clock is turned off. Suns will hold it for the final shot of the period. Unless Marbury has other ideas. He does. Stephon Marbury with 3.6 remaining. Claxton, blocking foul. Crowd doesn't like it, but it didn't appear Marbury gave Claxton room to come down after he caught the ball. You've got to give the offensive player a step after he catches it.
And Marbury makes a great shot, and then, it's a questionable call. I can understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a quick foul there and maybe get the ball back out of bounds, but it's going to hurt the Suns because Speedy Claxton gets to go to a line for 2 shots. And obviously, he probably wouldn't have had a very good look at the basket if it wasn't a foul.
You frequently see that call when the player has his back to the defender and turns. He has to have a chance to come down and take a step. And that's what the call was for Claxton to shoot. Claxton from the free throw line in the series is 8 of 10. Marbury, meanwhile, now with 4 personal fouls.
I think Claxton's done a great job in this series of coming in and spelling Tony Parker.
Claxton, a very good penetrator. This is the free throw. He sees the floor very well. Parker's more of a scoring point guard. Claxton more of a distributor.
And he does a good job defensively. He really gets into Stephon Marbury full court, makes it hard for him to handle the ball and bring the ball up comfortably.
Claxton's biggest problem is he's been injury prone early in his career. Knocks down the second. 2.4 remaining. Plenty of time to get off the shot. Now count if it goes, but it's too strong. And that will end. Phoenix Suns came out storming in the 3rd quarter, went on a 9-0 run, led by 11, but Tim Duncan and the Spurs bouncing back. Duncan with a huge all-around game once again, facing double teams every time he touches it, but making the right play. 3 quarters complete here in Game 6. Spurs with a 3-point lead. Thank you. Phoenix Suns heading into the 4th quarter. The question is, will it be the final quarter of their season? They trail this best-of-7 series 3 games to 2. Looking to force a Game 7, which would be Saturday in San Antonio. And they trail by 3 as we begin the final 12 minutes. Duncan, Rose, Smith, Ginobili, and Claxton out there for San Antonio. Suns in his zone. Ginobili can't hit. Hardaway, Stoudemire, Marbury, Joe Johnson, and Sean Marion out there for Frank Johnson's Suns. Johnson moves, and there you see Phoenix. They've shown that ability to come from behind.
Good recognition by Joe Johnson. Looked up, seemingly Rose on him, knowing he can't guard him. Gave him a little hesitation, went all the way left, absorbed a little contact, and made a nice shot.
Joe Johnson had a big 4th quarter in Game 4, as Smith is off the mark. Provided a spark, just gives them that extra option offensively. So many times the Suns have been down big in this series and have come back. This time they're up by 11. Duncan called for a foul. So Duncan picks up just his first. He's old-fashioned in every way. He even raises his hand when there's a foul call on him.
Yeah, and I don't know, if I was San Antonio, every time down the floor, I'd make sure the ball went through Tim Duncan, either in a double team or something, because he makes it happen every time.
Johnson, a couple of buckets here to begin the 4th, and Phoenix regains the lead. Johnson has had a really difficult series. Has not shot the ball well at all. But two big baskets here. Claxton, Duncan. Boy, he was licking his chops. He finally saw single coverage, and he rushed the shot. Marbury inside. And Duncan the rebound. And a reach-in foul call on Stephon Marbury. He's upset, but he's done that a couple of times tonight. He has to avoid that as he picks up his fifth.
What a great move he put him on there. Just a great move here. He catches it. Either he's going to take the three behind his back, sees Ginobili in his tracks and goes up. Unfortunately, there's the big fella there. Try to keep him from making the shot.
You know, Duncan had that left hand on Marbury's stomach. That easily could have been a foul call on Duncan. Suns by one. Almost 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Nice feed to Claxton. Claxton rushed it, but he got pushed. Joe Johnson.
Yeah, good call. He took out Claxton's leg. And that's what I love about Duncan. He finds him sometimes out in front of him, and that time the guy was, Speedy Claxton was behind him, and instinctively he knew where he was and made a good pass.
Duncan's averaging 4 assists in the series. He's got a series high 7 tonight. As Claxton will go to the line for 2. Claxton 1 of 2 from the line so far this evening. Tomorrow, playoff action continues. Detroit and Orlando. Magic trying to wrap it up at home. That game on ESPN, as is the Sixers and the Hornets from New Orleans. New Orleans staying alive, and Dallas and Portland on ESPN2. Portland trying to force a game 7. More missed free throws by the San Antonio Spurs. They're 16 of 25. Joe Johnson hard to the basket, blocked by Rose. Stoudemire stripped by Rose, but he was out of bounds.
Good aggressive play by Joe, though. It's almost shades of game 4 where he had some big shots in the fourth quarter. Looks like he's trying to be aggressive here, too.
13 on the shot clock. As obviously the block shots did not hit iron, so it didn't reset. Stoudemire. Not really the shot Frank Johnson would want there. And Ginobili trying to lead the break. They've got a 4-on-2. Good transition. Those two back did a good job. Duncan. Smith inside. Doesn't get the roll. The tip. And a loose ball foul call on Steve Smith. Smith says good call to Joe DeRosa.
Yeah, that was a real good call. He grabbed his arm and he knew it. But that's just another thing where Duncan's great. Smith cut baseline, found it, just missed an easy shot. Suns got the rebound and got the foul.
Both teams now with 2 team fouls here in the fourth. 2.5 gone by. All tied up in game 6. Sean Marion, been a little quiet lately offensively after the big start. Plenty of time still on the shot clock. Marion inside, stripped, knocked out of bounds. Looked like it was deflected. No, they're going to say Spurs ball.
Not a very good series there for the Suns. They never really got set, didn't know what they were going to do. It usually turns into a turnover.
Duncan again, the double team. Claxton passed up the open shot, trying to get a better one, but couldn't hit it. With Joe Johnson playing with a lot of energy here in the fourth. Offensive foul, Stoudemire and a moving pick. That's his 3rd. And we'll have timeout. 16th turnover for the Phoenix Suns. Tie game here in the fourth.
Into Sean Elliott. He fires the 3 and hits it! His 6th of the game! What a shot! But it looked like he was going to step out of bounds. He caught it and tight-roped the sideline. What a shot!
That was known as the Memorial Day Miracle. Sean Elliott now doing some broadcasting for the Spurs tonight. That was in the '99 Western Conference Finals, Game 2. They went on to beat the Blazers and advance to the finals where they beat the Knicks for their first NBA championship. A great finish.
One of the quickest first steps in the league when he was in his prime. I used to hate guarding that guy because he could get to the rim quick.
And the Spurs win another championship. They're the #1 seed in the West. Robinson, offensive foul. Joe Johnson makes another play. Johnson playing with a lot of confidence here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, good job on recognizing what was happening. He stood over there and was able to absorb some of the punishment. Good way, step up, he's out of the box, takes the hit. Good play by Joe Johnson.
Robinson, his 4th foul. You see Jacobson playing because Marbury with 5 fouls on the bench. See how long Frank Johnson keeps him there. Stoudemire, tough shot. Johnson, the offensive rebound. Feeds Stoudemire, offensive foul. Stoudemire again. He has that tendency sometimes to lower his shoulder and just barrel in, and he picks up his 4th.
That's just inexperience there. Like you said, he's got to catch that, and he's just got to shoot a little bank shot without trying to get all the way to the rim. Robinson's too smart of a player to let him do that. How about the Suns, though? It's 8-12 left, and they got 2 rookies in the fourth quarter, an elimination game. That tells you how much confidence Coach Johnson has in his rookies and how good the Suns can be later on down the line.
Good ball movement. And an offensive 3 seconds called on Malik Rose. So the 17th turnover for the San Antonio Spurs. Duncan's brief rest is over. How about this? We played here in the fourth quarter. We played 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. And the Spurs have 1 point. The Suns 4. San Antonio is 0 for 6 from the field in the fourth as Marbury back in. But the Suns have not been able to take advantage and pull away a little bit.
I expect that things get real tight here because as this clock winds down, the defense is going to pick up and the intensity is going to pick up. It's not going to be easy to score.
Ginobili with the deflection. Yeah, that's where Manu Ginobili. Those are the type of little intangible things that he does to this team. Tony Parker. Parker finds the range. 17 for Parker. Spurs by 2.
Good job by Jackson. They're catching the ball, attacking the baseline, having enough wits about him to find Parker out there all by himself.
Still plenty of time. Just under 7.5 minutes remaining. Ball knocked away. Johnson turns it over for the 2nd straight time because of Ginobili's defense. That's why Ginobili out there at crunch time. Duncan, the quick pass. The key there. Parker. Blocked by Hardaway. Here comes Marbury. Oh, plenty of contact. No, they say no basket before the shot. Boy, Marbury looked like he got hit hard by Ginobili and they didn't blow the whistle.
I don't know what they were looking at there. That is definitely a foul. Stefan's going hard to the basket. He's going to take it strong. Goes up strong. And that's all body. That should be a foul, definitely.
Meanwhile, they say no on the deflect. I guess they...
Oh, they did call it.
Well, my apologies then, because...
Well, no, that was just a real late whistle. I mean, they didn't blow that too.
It was a late whistle, but it's also hard to hear the whistle. As Marbury knocks it down.
Must have been hard to blow the whistle because that was a late call.
Maybe we just didn't hear it. Marbury, meanwhile, hits the free throw. Stephon Marbury, you saw the numbers. It includes 6 turnovers. He just hasn't been himself since the injury, but it's 2 big free throws right here. Yeah, that one was too blatant for them not to call it. Jackson, alley-oop for Robinson. Steven Jackson has developed a nice pass when he throws it to the big guys.
Spurs just did a great job of recognizing kind of a full-court press there. Moved the ball up with hardly a dribble. Spaced the floor well. Robinson got an easy basket.
Marbury finding Stoudemire. You know, you think he's a little too far away for it. All of a sudden, he throws it down.
No, he's never too far away. This kid's got such explosive ability. He can just jump out of the gym off of 1 foot off or off of 2.
Ginobili for 3. Robinson keeps it alive, but knocks it out of bounds.
See Marbury here, getting the penetration, gives it off to Stoudemire. One leg goes in between the Twin Towers and throws it down.
He's having maybe his best game since game 1. And Joe Johnson. Johnson again making plays in the fourth quarter. He's got a couple of turnovers, but he's so active.
No, he hasn't lost any kind of confidence. He's going out there. He wants to make the big play. He's being aggressive, which is the best thing.
Jackson wide open for 3. Steven Jackson nails it. And the Spurs regain the lead.
good ball movement there. They just found the open guy. The Suns were rotating. Marbury couldn't get out there quick enough to stop the shot.
Joe Johnson does a little Curly Neal impression. That's the fourth three-pointer for Jackson. Hardaway for three. And Duncan coming out.
Bad decision there by Penny Hardaway. Yeah, Tim Duncan running out hard with the hand in face. That's where you got to show him the ball, take a dribble, step in, and hit the 15-footer.
Jackson. This time, Bell deflected by Hardaway, knocked out of bounds. Phoenix ball. And we'll have timeout. The Phoenix Suns fighting to stay alive in these playoffs. They trail by one, 5:22 left. The Suns trying to force a game 7. They trail by one, still plenty of time. Just under 5.5 remaining in game 6.
One thing since my retirement I've noticed, I got a lot of Bud Light around the waist. Forget around the league.
I'm glad you would say that because I've been noticing. Ginobili, again, that's the third time Ginobili has stripped Joe Johnson. It's kind of a feast or famine for Johnson here in his fourth quarter. You can see he's upset. He's made some good plays, but Ginobili's also picked his pocket a few times. Duncan, Ginobili wide open, hits the three. Manu Ginobili having a huge fourth quarter for the Spurs who go up by 4.
Tim Duncan at his best. That play was designed for Duncan to get the ball at the high key and hit David Robinson. Ginobili's man had to sink down, guard David Robinson, which left Ginobili in the corner for a wide open three.
Marbury can't hit Jackson the rebound. Duncan now with 8 assists in the game. He's the leading assist man here in game 6, plus leading rebounder with 17. Ginobili, another three, puts it in. Manu Ginobili, back-to-back threes. And all of a sudden, America West Arena has gone quiet.
Same thing, Joe Johnson's so concerned about Tim Duncan getting the ball in the low post. He sinks way too far to hit Ginobili. He makes the shot.
Marbury, the pick and roll with Stoudemire. Oh, and a foul! How does he do that?
It's called being 20 years old and just be able to jump out of the gym. Great pass, drop pass by Marbury. He just takes out from way off of 2 feet, just extends his arm and throws it down. Great play by both players.
Reminiscent of the Hawk, Connie Hawkins, another former Sun. I guess he does it because he's 20 years old. And then it's a clutch free throw. That's a huge three-point play for the Phoenix Suns. 4 minutes remaining. Chance of defense. And they have played good, strong defense throughout the series. Jackson, another open three. Stephen Jackson from downtown is Duncan with another open pass for an open three.
That time Duncan was able to split the double team, get to the middle, hit Jackson on top. And Marbury didn't rotate over to stop the shot.
Bad shot from Sean Marion on the three. The Spurs, again, they're getting wide open looks because Tim Duncan being very smart with his passes.
Duncan is just dissecting this defense right off the double.
Ginobili, nice move, couldn't finish. Suns do not have to start jacking up threes. There's far too much time to get into that mindset. And then a foul on the pass. Spurs pick up their 15th foul, so Marbury will go to the free throw line. And here comes into play. How much is that injury affecting his shooting? Popovich says it's on a pass. He's right, but there is a penalty. He smiles and agrees with the call. And Duncan having a laugh. Marbury now 5 for 5 from the line. This has been a fun series. Two teams that have played terrific defense throughout. You've had your franchise or star players like Marbury and Duncan have just tremendous games, but you've also had your role players, your supporting cast, alternating on different nights and somebody having huge games.
Yeah, it's been a great series. Both teams have played extremely hard. Not great, but they've been out, they've competed and played hard and did a good job defensively. Like you said, you've seen guys step up and play big.
Greg Popovich calls timeout. Marbury, despite the injury. Manu Ginobili, big fourth quarter. Spurs by 5, just over 3 to play. Having a brilliant game once again. He's 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Duncan with the 15 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. He also has 3 blocks.
It's been amazing. I just love watching him play tonight. He takes his shots when he has to, but he's just dissected the Phoenix defense with pinpoint passes, making it easy for his teammates to score.
Still plenty of time remaining, and a crowd on its feet here at America West. Ginobili. Duncan gets in a good position. Good double team. Parker for 3. Marbury the rebound. Stephon Marbury makes his move. Lost it off his foot, the last touch by the Spurs, so the Suns will have it with 15 on the shot clock. Frank Johnson still has 2 timeouts, full timeouts, plus a 20.
Yeah, plenty of time here. The Suns don't have to pan. They just got to get a good shot every time down.
Joe Johnson gets away from Ginobili, and Duncan, I think, got a piece of that one. Not a smart shot from Johnson.
No, and Ginobili did a good job of forcing the baseline right into the help where his bigger guy who forced the bad shot.
Ginobili's defense here in the fourth quarter has been huge. Suns have turned it over 6 times. Jackson with a spin move. Steven Jackson with a big bucket, and the lead back up to 7. Jackson has 8 points here in the fourth quarter. Marbury. Hardaway. Johnson for 3. Wall short. Ginobili again contests the shot.
Marbury came in, looked like he had a wide open layup. Looked to throw it out the 3-point shot. I thought he had an easy layup. I don't know why he threw it out the 3-point line.
Under 2 minutes to play. Suns need a stop. Marion got a piece of it. Jackson a long 3. And Johnson with a rebound. Again, there's plenty of time, even with this 7-point deficit. Hardaway for 3. Hardaway with a big bucket. And the Suns back within 4.
Big shot down there. Suns got locked because Ginobili absolutely got killed on that layup. He got hit right in the head. There was no call. The result came down for Penny Hardaway 3.
4-point San Antonio lead. Robinson, and he's fouled by Hardaway. And David Robinson will shoot 2 very big free throws. He's just 1 of 4 from the line tonight, as Hardaway picks up his 4th.
That play has absolutely killed the Suns all series long. The big guy comes off the block, especially David Robinson has such big size. He dives right down the middle, and the Suns aren't getting over there in time.
Well, game 1, in which the Spurs lost at home, they lost at the free throw line. They couldn't hit free throws down the stretch. Crucial free throws right now. And Robinson calmly sinks that one. Robinson with 11 rebounds in the game. Lead back up to 5. There you see the free throw shooting. Plenty of misses in the second half. Duncan tips it to right to Hardaway. Suns have the numbers. Sean Marion for 3. Big rebound for Hardaway. Johnson passes up the 3. Hardaway for 3. Ball knocked loose, and Robinson has it. Full court pressure now from the Suns, a minute remaining.
Suns still have time. All they need to do here is get a good stop, come back, and try to score. Here's the biggest possession of the game right here. They need a stop here.
Yeah, the Suns didn't necessarily need to worry about 3s on those, but had some pretty good looks there. Ginobili. Shot clock down to 2. Parker has to put it up. And Marion the rebound. Suns still alive. Marbury takes it to the glass. Tough shot. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire came in and pushed off to get the offensive rebound, and the Suns in the penalty, so free throws coming up for the Spurs with 31.7 remaining.
Yeah, that's a killer there. Marbury was going pretty much 1-on-3, lays off the glass. I thought Stoudemire could have got the rebound without the push. That's just being young and inexperienced.
So Duncan, who has his 4th career triple-double tonight, will go to the free throw line where he can put this game away, but misses it. 84-79. It's still only a 5-point game with 31.7 remaining. And remember, the Suns still have 2 timeouts plus a 20. He's our Gatorade peak performer tonight, Tim Duncan. Misses both. Rebound, Steven Jackson. And Jackson then fouled after the rebound, and that is so critical. It's happened over and over again in this series.
That's just unbelievable. This cannot happen at this point in the game. You see the missed free throw here. The Suns need to get the two guys who are guarding Robinson and just pinch him so he's not allowed to step in there and get a hand on the ball. That's what those two guys are on that side for. You always put him on the side with the biggest guy. Robinson's on that side. They got to pinch the guy or smother him so he's not able to step in and get any legs to get the tip.
Jackson 17 of 18 from the line in the playoffs. That's the one guy San Antonio wants out the free throw line. The lead back up to 6. Bowen comes in for defensive purposes. Perimeter defense. Now this is a big free throw right now as Robinson will sit down. It's still a 2-possession game. And the game with all those timeouts remaining. Jackson misses. Marion the rebound, and they'll use one of their timeouts. Not over yet. 29.1 remaining, fourth quarter. The Suns need a terrific finish here to force a game 7. Seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Tim Duncan and the Spurs leading the Suns 85-79, leading the series 3 games to 2. The Suns will need a miracle finish to force game 7, which would be Saturday in San Antonio. And right now, they still have a full timeout at 20. Then they have to go for the threes now.
Well, I think they should go for the 3. Obviously, you don't want to force a real bad shot at that, take it to the basket, score a quick 2-pointer, try to get the foul, or try to get the steal and then foul. But I'd look for a good 3-point shot.
With the Spurs, though, and the way they've missed free throws down the stretch, and you still have a full timeout at 20, it might not be a bad idea to score a quick 2. And then foul right away.
No, I agree. I'd rather have a quick 2 than a forced 3. If they get a good look at a 3, obviously take it. If not, then you take it, penetrate to the hole.
Marbury, Hardaway, Johnson, Stoudemire, and Marion out there. They need to make their decisions quickly. Marbury for 3. That one was halfway down. And Duncan calls timeout before Stoudemire commits the foul. Boy, Marbury's shot so close. But he's now 5 of 19 from the field. It's obvious since that injury, his shooting ability has not been the same.
It really hasn't. And that ball looked like it went halfway down and popped out. So obviously hasn't been the same, but you got to give him a lot of credit. He's come out, he's played extremely hard.
Now the Suns have to hope for missed free throws.
They got the flare play. They threw it to Penny. The Stoudemire came back to set the back pick. Got Steph an open shot. Just in and out. Just hasn't been his night.
He was 5 for 18 in game 5, 5 for 19 in game 6. So brilliant all season long. Had his best overall season as he's become not only just a great scorer, but a good team player, learning to trust his teammates. And he's made such a difference in this team and winning 44 games and getting into the playoffs. But since that injury in game 4 off that pick, he just has not been the same.
He hasn't, and the Suns can't be disappointed. They didn't know if they were going to make the playoffs this year. They weren't picked very highly. They came out, had a great year, had some good development in Stoudemire, who wins Rookie of the Year. They're happy with Casey Jacobson. So they should look ahead and say they got Stoudemire, they got Penny Hardaway, they got Joe Johnson, they got Sean Marion, Casey Jacobson, all guys who are 20, 24 years old. So the future is very bright for the Suns team.
You see the looks on their faces and the body language tells you how disappointed they are, but quite frankly, 22.6 remaining. If free throws are missed by the Spurs, the Suns can get right back in. If Duncan misses 2, you come down, hit a 3, it's a 3-point game.
Well, we saw crazy good things. Game 1, we saw 2 bank shots by the Suns on 3s to get us right back into it. So this is definitely not over.
And Duncan will go to the free throw line. Now tonight, Duncan 7 for 11. At one point he was 5 for 5. You know, excuse me, the Suns had a foul again. I thought that was the second foul in the last 2 minutes, so now they'll have to foul right away with 22.6 left. Now they can try and go for a steal.
I just be really aggressive and take a hard foul trying to get the steal like that, and they not call it. Exactly.
And a jump ball. Stoudemire and Jackson.
That's exactly what you try to do in that situation. You try to go for a steal, make a hard play. Sometimes the ref let that go and you can get a steal.
Frank Johnson says, if we get the tip, call timeout right away. Stoudemire has the advantage, the height advantage here with 19.5 remaining. Bruce Bowen is going to come in. Rose will sit down. So that way you call the timeout. You don't waste time dribbling the ball off the court. You can advance it during the timeout. Shot clock is off. 6-point San Antonio lead.
Suns here just got to line up next to the player and give a good angle for Stoudemire to get this tip because he's so much bigger than Jackson. You'd think he'd win this tip.
Joe Forte blowing a whistle, making sure everybody's set. Marbury's standing in front of Parker. You can't do that along the circle, so now he moves to the side. Jackson's going to try and steal it. And they call timeout right away. 17.9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, perhaps in the season for the Suns, as he's going to use his 22nd timeout. So the Suns down to one full timeout remaining. Now, with that the case, at 85-79, they pretty much have to get a three here. You see neither team with a foul to give, so both are in the penalty.
Yeah, I think you got to shoot a three here, but like you said, if it's not a good one, I'd rather see him take it to the hole, make a strong play, maybe make a two, and then the way the Spurs have been shooting free throws, foul one of their bad free throw shooters, and hopefully he misses.
Of course, so often you see the guy who inbounds the ball is the one who shoots the three.
Well, they ran a pretty good play last time. Marbury inbounds the ball, and then Stoudemire came up and set the back pick. And he had to look at it and had a pretty good shot.
Hardaway will inbound right at the 28-foot line. The Suns need a three here with 17.9 left. They're shooting in this game just 6 of 19 from downtown. Stoudemire, instead they're going to go for the two. Stoudemire can't hit it. Duncan the rebound. Duncan holds on, gets it to Jackson, and Jackson is fouled with 11.1 remaining. And that will just about do it for the Phoenix Suns.
Frank Johnson telling Stoudemire that he wanted to pop out and shoot that three, maybe like he did in game one, where he worked that bank shot to send it in overtime.
Marbury fouls out. Again, just 5 of 19, 18 points, 7 rebounds to Stephon Marbury. Playing despite the injury. A tough way for his season to end.
Yeah, but you know what, a great year for Stephon. He's so disappointed last year not making the playoffs. Went through some ankle injuries, went through that surgery, had the DUI thing, and really has redeemed himself, has made himself the genuine leader of this team. So you ought to be proud of what he's done for this team this year.
And Steven Jackson makes it a 7-point game. Jackson coming up with some big plays here in the fourth quarter. 10 of his 20 points in the fourth quarter for Steven Jackson. He's been healthy. He's had a big series. And the Suns will use their final timeout. 10.6 seconds remaining. Spurs on the verge of advancing to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Ernie, Timberwolves have their work cut out for them, and the Phoenix Suns looks like they're going to come up short. Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, who have a wonderful relationship, having a little laugh there during the timeout as Duncan has faced double teams the whole series and finishing off with a brilliant game. 15 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 block shots. He's just an amazing, amazing player.
Sometimes this is a good thing for the San Antonio Spurs if they have a tough series here in the first round. It kind of gets them going a little bit. The role players have had to step up and make big shots in big situations. So this could be a good thing for the San Antonio Spurs.
Spurs have sights of an NBA championship. Sean Marion does not hit the three. Gets his own rebound. Marion will try it again. Backs it in. That makes it a 4-point game with 4.4 remaining, and Greg Popovich will call timeout. Just wants to make sure that we don't have one of those bizarre finishes. But again, the Phoenix Suns,
real bizarre.
They're out of timeouts, Phoenix, so it's pretty much impossible. So for the Spurs, they hold on and win. They'll face either the Minnesota Timberwolves or the LA Lakers. Might know that tonight. Spurs, of course, play very well against the Lakers, but when you get into the playoffs now, what they did during the regular season means absolutely nothing. What's going to be in ahead of the Spurs is what's happened in the postseason the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I think Duncan is playing so well. Like I said earlier, they got the role players now who have had to step up in this series and make big shots and have to contribute. That's going to help them down the line. So I like the Spurs' chances. They got the Twin Towers.
You also have, again, the flair of Ginobili, of Jackson, a more experienced Tony Parker. Now, Parker's going to He's not going to face anybody like Stephon Marbury if they go against the Lakers, if the Lakers win that game. And let's not sell the Timberwolves short yet. That game is certainly not over yet.
No, but I like Bowen too. If there's one guy who can try to guard Kobe Bryant effectively, it's Bruce Bowen. He does a great job of one-on-one defense. He's tenacious. He's got good size. He's got quick hands. So if there's one guy out there who can play good on Kobe Bryant, it's Bruce Bowen.
So the San Antonio Spurs, the #1 seed in the West, best record in the NBA during the regular season. Well, they have their hands full against the Phoenix Suns team. Talk about a tough #8 seed. The Suns, the third best record of a #8 seed since they went to the 16-team playoff format, with a 44-38 record. And a team that beat San Antonio 3 out of 4 during the regular season made this a difficult first-round series.
Like I said, they should be proud of their season. They were rated as being a playoff team, and they fought all year and ended up getting to the 8th seed and have given the San Antonio Spurs everything they wanted in this series.
Johnson commits the foul, so Steven Jackson will go to the line. .9 remaining, so the Spurs need somebody along the free throw line. So Jackson apparently he misses the first. If he misses all of the free throws, Suns come down unless the Spurs get a complete mental block and commit a foul on a three-point attempt. This one is over.
It is over. This is one thing the Spurs really have to work on, is their free throw and the turnover. They're still turning the ball way too over, and they're missing too many free throws to expect to win an NBA championship.
How about this? 19 of 34 from the free throw line. As Jackson hits the second. Stoudemire. Marion for 3. Counts, but not enough. And the San Antonio Spurs advance by winning this opening round series in 6 games as the Phoenix Suns season comes to an end here at America West Arena. And David Robinson will play some more NBA basketball before he retires. See the way he's walking, you can see he is not healthy, whether it's the back or the knee. But some nice sportsmanship as the players and coaches with some words and embraces.
Well, I'm sure they both respect each other a lot for the way they went out and played and got after each other. And it was a great series. It was fun for the fans to watch. I'm sure it was fun for the players to play in. And, quite frankly, obviously the best team won. San Antonio won 60 games this year, and they did what it takes to win. They're a good defensive team, and they just had too much Tim Duncan.
Duncan finished off a tremendous series with a triple-double in Game 6. Let's go to Reggie Theus.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Tim, a very stubborn 8th seed. Did you expect this series to be this tough?
Well, they played us tough all season long, and it didn't change in the postseason. Those guys were tough all the way through, even tonight. Just glad to get out of here.
Like, you were the difference in this series all the way around. Everything they threw at you, you found a way to combat it.
I had to. They were trying to take me out of the game. My teammates were great tonight. Steven Jackson took over in the 4th quarter. Manu shot the ball big time. Tony's been great all series long. These guys played great all series long.
The way they played you in this series, you think that some of your young guys, Mano, Jackson, Parker, got some valuable experience going down the line looking toward the championship?
Absolutely. It was great for them. Those guys took big shots. They made big shots.
All right, thanks. Good luck, man. Mike?
All right, Reggie. Tim Duncan, just brilliant tonight as the Spurs advance and wait for the winner of the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Once again, our final score, 87-85. Spurs win the series in 6. Catch all the playoff highlights and post-game reaction later tonight on Inside the NBA on